It's easy to say or blame on an institution or on someone or something. When all the blame has been done, what are you doing? What are you going to do to make sure that, okay, this is not working for me, but I'm gonna make something of myself? I got put into the seed, man. But the thing is, when I finished the papers, I knew exactly where I went wrong. I knew, shit, I made a mistake there. But it shows to you, if I got put into the seed and I got this, people can do it. Just put the work in, that's it. You can make it work. You can make it work to the point where the thing that you're focusing on, as it builds traction and you build momentum to the point where you realize, okay, this is bringing me results, then you can make the switch. Who's planning to do A-level maths here? Grades are not as important. They're important, but they're not going to get you to the finishing line. You can have 3 A stars and you can still get rejected by universities because they look at what you're doing outside of the class. So is university a scam? This is a debate that's been going for some time now. And in this video, I'm going to share to you 4 truthful insights of what you need to consider if you are going to go to university, or if you're not sure if university is the right place for you or not. And then hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a better idea of what your options are and what you are going to do for your own path in your own life. The first insight is if you're not sure what you want to do. Now, if you know you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or specific routes that requires a degree, then you know, okay, you have to go to university to go and do these things. But if you're not sure what to do, you might be thinking, okay, I don't know what I want to do. I don't think university is going to be the right place for me because I'm not going to use any of these things in the real world. But let me just tell you something. Let me make sure that you understand what I'm about to say here. And it's that if you don't know what to do and you don't have a plan of what you're going to do, you not going to university is not going to solve anything unless you take action. And let me explain what I mean by this. If you have something going on and you're working towards something and it's making something, it's making money and you're building something, then that's fair enough. You're doing something on the side that's working and it's becoming something where, okay, you know what? I can see this growing and it is growing. I don't need university. But if you have nothing going on for you and you're not sure what to do, what else are you going to do? You can't just be sitting at home doing nothing, right? This is a thing that a lot of people discuss and say or argue is that, oh, university is pointless, it's no use. But these same people that say that are still living in their parents' home, are still relying on their parents paying the bills, are still relying on their parents making food. Why don't you go and say that by living on your own, paying your own bills and looking after yourself and standing up on your own 2 feet? Because it's very easy to say university is a scam, university is this, when you got parents supporting you. And this is what I want to really make sure that you understand is that just because other people are saying these things, you shouldn't look at it like, oh, okay, if this person's saying university is not good for him or her, then I'm not going to do it. But you have no idea what you want to do in the first place. If you don't know what to do, I don't think you should just say university is pointless. Because there is a life there that you're going to learn as an adult when you're going into that world for you to get ready for the real world. And it's a big advantage. It's a way of you experimenting, but also understanding yourself as you're growing in that environment. If you don't know what you want to do, university is not going to resolve that. I'm not saying that. But what it will allow you to do is you can do that degree as you're doing it. You can also experiment on the side. You see, like, this notion of I don't need university, it's not going to help me and I'm going to go all in on this one thing when it's not even making any sort of money and you have no social proof or actual evidence that it's working, to me doesn't make sense. Why can't you do the university and do the thing on the side as well? You have the capacity, you have the time. If you really want it, then you will make it work while studying at university. And if that side thing that you're doing really takes off and is starting to produce results where you're realizing, okay, wow, I actually don't need the degree because this is taking off like crazy, then you can leave university. Doing them both in parallel will give you the experience of the university life, but at the same time, it will allow you to hone on the field that you are really focusing in. You don't need to just stop university to just go on all in on something that you haven't proven. It's not a calculated risk. And you have to understand that if you are going to go all in, then you shouldn't be living with your parents and relying on them. You should be living out and doing everything on your own, standing up on your own 2 feet. If you do all of that and you're doing that by yourself and you're making money and you're having a part-time job or full-time job to fund that field that you really want to get into, fair play. I'm not arguing with you. But if you're not doing any of those things because you don't want to put the work in, but you're using university as a cop-out, It's a weak statement that you're putting yourself there. It's not really, you're not really thinking. You're not really being self-aware enough. You're just listening to what everyone else is saying and just following the crowd, but not having really any thought about what you want to do and how you're going to plan your life ahead. So really think about that. If you don't know what you want to do, doing a university degree or even a degree apprenticeship is going to be beneficial for you. You're not going to lose anything. And whilst you're doing that, you can figure out on the side what you like and what you don't like. Because the worst thing that you can do is not doing anything. And then you're not going to have any sort of discipline, any sort of organization, any sort of level of consistency about yourself, because now you are lost. There's nothing you're doing. You have no purpose. You don't want to be in that position.
No, I'm not sitting next to Aaron. I'm going to get very distracting for me. No.
You're the one who's distracting, not him. Yeah, so sit there. Okay, equation or tangent. And where would 410 be? Which quadrant? Like left, right, right, top right. So you know that that's the tangent, right? This is nothing new. Remember this? Now they're saying that the line M crosses the x-axis at the point R. Where would point R be? Anyone?
At the bottom.
Where?
Like of the top right, where the line passes through.
Intersects the x-axis.
That's his influence.
It's fine. It'll break eventually, and then
You get to choose
beetroot, spinach, kale, and blackcurrant, and some acai berry. So obviously, when you go number 2, it goes all pink on the other side. Mouthwash. That's terrible. Don't ever use mouthwash. It's harsh chemicals on your gums. No, just use oil. Gargle with oil. You know, olive oil, almond oil, coconut oil. Put coconut oil. That cleans your whole gums.
Ew.
So, the thing that you need to do is you need to find what R is, this coordinate R. Why? Because if I find coordinate R, I will know the what part? Base. I will get the base. What's the gradient of this line? He knows, so I want to see if anyone else knows. How do I find it? Aaron, put the bag back.
My bag's right there.
No, I see your leg. I see your leg extending and then trying. Do you not think I can't see, even though I'm looking at Hayward? I can. My eyes can see. I have shadow ninja eyes. I can see. This is an extension to what we did of equation or tangent. This comes up in the exam for 5 marks.
How many times does it come up?
As many times as it needs to come up. What is it, Mahi? I said many times when I wasn't knew that message. Sorry, my bad. I apologize.
I accept your apology.
No, I don't need you to accept my apology. That's fine.
So oh, sir, you know what happened to Chris today? He's riding his bike here, yeah?
You broke the seat.
How did you see falling off as you're riding the bike?
It's been like that for a month.
Okay, let's go.
We got that.
The second insight is, what is your backup plan? Now, okay, let's just say that university is a scam. Let's just say that university is not going to help you in the real world. It doesn't help. Let's just use that argument. Fine. What is your backup plan? What are you going to do? So this is a thing. This is what you really have to think about, because it's easy to say, or blame, should I say, on an institution or on someone or something. But then when all the blame has been done, what are you doing? What are you going to do to make sure that, okay, this is not working for me, but I'm going to make something of myself? And a lot of people don't do any of that, because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of mental energy for you to think of something and then executing it and taking action. And you know, we see a lot of this notion now where everyone wants to be this entrepreneur, everyone wants to start up their own business. But what few people talk about, and I'm going to be talking about this a lot more in the Second Chances channel, so you can check that out as well, is that entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It's a very, very mentally exhausting game. There's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows. And just because you see someone doing well, having all the luxury lifestyle or whatever, doesn't mean that that's their life 24/7. Some people just fake it just to portray themselves as if they have that lifestyle. Don't believe everything that you see or hear. It's not for the faint heart. And I'm telling you that from experience. I used to work in investment banking. I left that investment banking world to then go and start up a Maths Academy that I've been running for 7 years, and then also a software company. And I'm telling you this, those 7 years has been ridiculously hard. It has been very difficult. It's not just always everything being glamorous and everything is going well. There's always something going wrong. And I had to deal with it mentally. And this is what I was saying, it's mentally exhausting, it's draining, it's not for everyone. So you have to also be careful when you say that, okay, if university is not for you and you don't have a backup plan, or your backup plan is thinking that, okay, I'm going to go into business, into something that I have not tested, you have to really be careful with that, because business might not be for you. And that's not a bad thing. It's not actually a bad thing. You could try it out, experiment it for yourself and see. But to kind of remove this complete notion of, oh, I'm not going to do university and I'm just going to go all in into something that I've not even tested and has not been put into the market, you're not being logical here. You're not thinking really in a way where it's going to get you to the next level, to another stage. So when you think about backup plans, you have to have a plan of how you're going to execute something if you're not going to do that path. And if you haven't got that yet, you have no right in saying that, okay, I'm not going to do university, but I'm just going to sit around and be lazy and do nothing. Is this what you really want? So really think about that. If you don't want to do university, which is fine, you can do that, have an actionable plan that you're going to be doing for the next 5 years, not 6 months, next 5 years. And if you're living with your parents as well, by the way, and you're relying on them, I suggest that you go and get yourself a part-time job or full-time job to be able to help with the rent and the bills. Because this aspect of you relying on your parents and living under their roof and doing what you want, no. That's not how the real world works. Yeah, you're living in a very luxurious lifestyle then. If you're going to be doing this, take yourself seriously and go all in. And make sure that you are able to help your parents or the people that you're staying with to pay for the bills and the rent, and make sure that you keep your end of your bargain, if that is the route that you want to go in. If that's not the route that you want to go in, then listen, like I said in the previous step, do the university and then do this on the side, because you also don't realize that with university, you do get money as well, right? Student maintenance grant, student loans as well, that comes, and that money could also be used for the thing that you want to go. This is how you start to think logically. This is how you start to use the resources that's been given to you for you to use for your own advantage and for the things that you want to do. Who got 7x minus 3 over minus 3x plus 4?
Yes.
Only Hayward.
Yeah, but I didn't finish it.
You should have just said you got it. Now you just kind of degraded yourself there. I got predicted a C, Max. I was predicted a C. But the thing is, when I finished the papers, I knew exactly where I went wrong. I knew, shoot, I made a mistake there. It shows to you, if I got predicted a C and I got this, people can do it. It's not just put the work in, that's it. Who's planning to do A-level maths here? Yeah, so A-level maths, you're going to have something called Pure 1, Pure 2, and then there's going to be something called Statistics and Mechanics. It's 1M1 and an S2, M2. So basically this is first year and this is second year. If you get 7 and you just scrape the 7, but you love maths, don't do maths. Because 95% of A-level maths is algebra. Yeah. So if you hate algebra, it's been a long day. Bye-bye.
That's not the lyric.
I know, I was just trying to improvise. It didn't work. If you like algebra, you'll enjoy A-level maths. You did C1, C2, and then I did M1, so that's first year, which is basically the same as this. And then second year we did C3, C4, and M2. So each of these are 100. This one I think I had 97, 98, 96, there's 98, 99.
How do you remember it?
And 94. C4 was my last exam. I did not need to go to this exam and I've still got an A because all my other grades were all like in the 90%.
Why did you go to it?
I just put to test myself. Grades are not as important. They're important, but they're not going to get you to the finishing line. You can have 3 A stars and you can still get rejected by universities. I've had students in my class that got predicted 3 A stars and got rejected because they look at what you're doing outside of the class. The third insight is following the crowd. Look, it's very easy to listen to people that say, oh, don't do this, go and do that, university is pointless, go and do this, go and start up your own business, I made all of this money, or blah, 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 blah. And then you get into this mindset of, oh, I'm gonna do this as well. But they don't give you the full story. They just show you bits and bobs of what they want you to see, but they don't show everything. So you gotta make sure that you take all of these things with a pinch of salt. Just because it works for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And that's not a disrespect to you saying that you can't do it, but you also have to understand that the time and the place that they've done or they were quote unquote successful is very different. You know, there's a lot of parameters that's not going to be in your control. So to expect that, oh, if it worked for this person, I can do it as well and I'm going to make it work, that's fine. But then if you don't have money coming in that's able to sustain you, you're gonna be running out of options here, right? So I'll be very careful to not follow the crowd. You have to be able to listen to yourself and understand what you want, not what anyone else wants. Just because it looks glamorous doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Doesn't mean it's for you. Not like this thing now where businesses have to look glamorous so that it looks good to other people on the outside is complete rubbish. Businesses are not glamorous. It's hard work. A lot of the times, it's a lot of problems, resolving problems, keeping people happy, employees happy, clients happy. There's a lot of that, but they don't show you that stuff. Why don't they show you that stuff? Because it's not attractive, because then that means they can't sell what they're trying to sell to you. So always try and take a step back and question yourself. Hold up, okay, they're doing this, they're saying that, but is this what I really want? Even though it might look quote unquote glamorous, it might not be for you, and that is okay, right? You have to understand, like, I work from an investment banking world, I come from that side, and I left that. And to a lot of people, like, oh wow, investment banking looks amazing. But I was like, I don't care what people think. I care about what I think, what I want. And that's why I left. And then I went in to start up the academy, because that's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to create the business around that because I enjoy it. I like it. It's hard, very difficult, but I enjoy it. And that's very important. If you know what you want to do and you are tunnel vision at it, go at it. Don't worry about what anyone else says, but don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the sheep just because everyone else is saying to do that, to do it. And you can have the argument of the same thing about, okay, but everyone's saying to go to university, so does that mean I should not follow that? Well, again, it goes back to the stage. If you're not gonna go to university, what is your backup plan? And your backup plan is not staying at home and letting mommy and daddy pay the bills and you doing nothing and just relaxing with your life. That's not a backup plan. That's pointless. You're not gonna learn anything, you're not gonna grow, and you're not gonna improve. And I tell you this, when you are in that mindset where you have nothing going on, you will lose yourself. You need a purpose. And if you haven't found a purpose, you need to do something. You need to keep yourself busy until you find what it is that you want to do. So I would just say, don't listen to what everyone else is saying or doing. Listen to your gut, listen to your instinct, but also be strategic and take calculated risks so you don't dig yourself a big hole and then just end up losing yourself. Who's doing medicine here?
Medicine?
Wow, it's probably the first class that no one's doing medicine then. Mechanical. Interesting. Who else put their hand up at the back?
I want to do motorsports.
Motorsport. Wow. Because
What, like driving like motorcycles?
oh my days. Motorsport engineering is not for you to go and drive a motorsport. It's like, come on, why is she going to study for 3 years to learn how to drive and what?
I thought she was going to be the driver.
It's like jet skis.
But that's important.
And start thinking about it, yeah, because it's going to start creeping up. Like A-level is what you're going to be doing and everything. I would personally recommend don't do what everyone else is doing or you're getting forced to do. Do something that you enjoy in terms of the subject and you actually are strong at. And the reason why is because when the going gets tough, and it will get hard, you're not going to feel it as hard because you enjoy the subject. But if you're doing a subject because you've been made to do it and you're forced to do it, when it gets hard, you'll struggle. So try and go with the ones that you enjoy and are good at. That would be my tip, I would say. Who made extra subject here? What the heck is happening? There's nothing else to drink.
Read your slide.
Excuse me?
Would you like spit in a cup and then drink it?
Okay, too much info. Who made extra subject? Why didn't you do it, Amari, Krish? You should know how to do this. We've done this so many times. Instead of focusing on your bike and your seat going down, focus on the mats. Shh, I can't hear if it's off.
It's on.
So I can hear it.
A.
Aaron, where's your bag?
In the bag.
Where's your phone? You're gonna be next, Krish.
Before I get angry.
Before you get angry. Oh.
Amari, get out. I've had enough.
Well, I'm outside.
I had enough of you. Get out.
Can I get out?
No, you stay. Amari is getting kicked out of the class now. I've had enough. So take your bag and leave and never come back. If you want to say your byes, you can say your byes.
Okay, goodbye. See you all next week.
You see, guys, I can be ruthless. I just told him to get out and he's getting out now.
My mum told you to tell me to get
Why
out.
are you ruining the... No, there's nothing about that. The mum never said anything. Your parents are awaiting you at the station to go to Hogwarts. The fourth insight is work experience. So a lot of people think that, okay, just because you're doing a degree and you can't really apply that in the real world, you're not really gaining real life experience. Okay, cool. But you also know that now universities are doing something called a degree apprenticeship, which is basically you do the degree, you study the degree, but you also go and work at a corporate, at a firm, and you gain that experience. So if your argument was that, oh, whatever I'm learning in university is not going to be applicable in the real world, they're also now offering where you can go and work in the real world whilst also studying, which gives you the best of both worlds. So you see, again, it's like the universities are adapting, but of course, I'm not going to say that every single degree is going to be applicable in the real world. And if you do well in the firm that you've been working with and they are impressed by you, they can give you an offer to come back and work for them full time after you finish university, which once again is like, okay, so I have something stable once I finish university that I can go into. Of course, not every single degree is going to be helpful in the real world. That's for sure. But the thing that you can do is still go out there and learn real world experience whilst doing this, so you have best of both sides and you don't have to go all in one. And if that doesn't work, then what do you do? Now, of course, some people are capable of going all in and just making sure that it works no matter what, and they just have tunnel vision. But you also got to be very careful that if you can't do that and you will stop at the end after like 6, 7, 8 months and you can't do it and you're going to go back, then this might not be for you. And having something on the side, which is the university, and doing this might be the best option for you. You're not losing anything by going to university is what I'm saying. And if you think you are because you couldn't focus on the thing that you wanted to, the way I would look at it is do that on the side. Do that whilst you're going at university. You have all the time, you have all the capacity in the world for you to do it. You have no responsibilities. You're not going to have a family, well, I hope not at that age, and you're not going to have children that's going to be dependent on you. You have, the whole time is on you. So moaning about, oh, I'm not going to have the time to focus on the field I want to go to because I need to focus on university, to me is rubbish. You can make it work. You can make it work to the point where the thing that you're focusing on hasn't built traction yet, but as it builds traction and you build momentum to the point where you realize, okay, this is bringing me results and I'm actually getting income from it to the point that I'm realizing that university is not for me, then you can make the switch. Until then, you don't need to be saying, I'm going to go all in one, because you don't know. You don't even know what works. So how is it that you think that, oh, I don't need university so I can focus on something that I haven't even tested? So when I say find area of OBC, I'm referring to the triangle here, yeah?
How do you do it?
How do you do it? Excellent. What a fantastic start. Just follow the example. Yeah, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then you'll get it. Anyone got 1?
Yeah.
Except Sienna?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Yeah.
Okay, 20.
There's something wrong with my calculator.
Something wrong with your hair?
No, my calculator.
Oh, draw the diagram and you'll see.
Yeah.
It'll make sense. Times about half.
Yeah, which is 40.
Excellent. Wow, very good.
80, yes.
Yeah, 80, so you're right. Reciprocal means when you're timesing, if you have 2 and you're timesing about minus half, the gradient when you multiply both of them should give you 1. Minus 1, sorry. What if I have 5 of 8?
So, how
Yeah.
do you fall? Why is there 4 coordinates?
Why is the sky blue?
What?
Oh, didn't write the homework. Wait, you take a dump.
Yes.
Don't do it here, it'll stink. Go at home and do it. Wait,
So,
what?
can a line go through the circle?
But there's no circle here. Did I mention anything circle? Ha, your brain's hurting now, isn't it? Good, good, good.
So, how can you be number 4?
Sometimes in life you gotta figure it out and figure it out.
How do you get 7.5?
Sometimes you rush things without noticing.
So, what do you do after you find the equation of a line?
Think.
I have.
You're not thinking hard enough.
I am. Sahil, what have you done?
Sahil, say nothing.
That's so unfair.
Life is unfair. Yeah, but then you can. But make sure you, if you're gonna find the gradient from these two, the only quantity you can pick is this or that, not the 2 bottom ones. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Like that.
I hope you understand where I'm coming from. This is not me trying to have a go at you or being, harsh and rude. It's just being honest. It's really being honest. Like, if you're not able to think for yourself and just following the crowd, then you're always going to be doing what other people want you to do as opposed to what you want to do. University is not for everyone. I understand and I agree, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. And you can use that to your advantage, both financially and from a stability perspective, if you make the strategic move to do what you eventually want to do. And if you're able to think in those ways, trust me, you're going to skyrocket because now the moves that you're making is strategic, it's planned, and it's thought out, as opposed to just going based on an emotion. Everything starts from zero. When are you going to start? Peace.